Good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm Scott Molchan with the Million Dollar Landscaper. And today I just wanted to hop in and talk to you a little bit about having a sales process and really getting back to a customer in a timely manner, a quick manner. I hear more and more people talking about them just answering the phone and getting back to a customer. They're able to get the job and close the job just because they're the only ones doing it. And that's just crazy to me how many people are not doing that. And this kind of goes back to having a sales process. And basically, a sales process is just the way you're taking the customer from, and you can go as far as, we can go as far as the marketing and everything, how you get the customer, but taking a customer through a process of how you ask them questions, how you're going to go about giving the bid, doing the design, what's going to go on when you start the project, all the way through after you close the sale and finish the job. What do you do with the customer? There has to be some kind of sales process, like an onboarding process too, when you actually have the customer and close the job. In order to keep that customer, we work so hard to find new customers. We have to work that hard to keep those customers too and keep them happy. And it's very simple. There's a lot of processes and stuff that you can set up. There's a lot of automation too that you can set up for that. But today, I really just kind of wanted to hone in on the actual sales process itself. And let me know if you guys have any questions on anything. Feel free to post in the chat session. I'm kind of going back and forth. I got a couple different screens here. I got Instagram here, and I got Facebook and YouTube over here. So I'm going back and forth. That's why. What's up, Niners 118? Appreciate you being here. So like I said, today I just want to really talk about having a sales process. It's really going to help you get a better understanding of what your customer is and what they need, and it helps you improve the way you communicate with them. Communication is so important with the customer. Honestly, you can't over communicate with a customer. They're looking for more. They want that feedback. They want that information. If you listen to our podcast at all, you'll hear this. My wife tell the story of my sister-in-law, her sister, of how she hired a person just to come do deck. And I think she had the same issue with another landscaper she hired too. Anyhow, she hired a person to come build a deck around her pool. And she thought the person was like just abandoned. And she, the customer, the contractor came out, gave them the quote, they accepted it, and vanished. Never heard anything for a while. And she's like freaking out, thinking that the contractor took her money and is never going to hear back from them. Finally, after calling, she finally got hold of the customer or the contractor and found out he's just, busy, which I get. But they did not let her know. And that's the whole point of having the sales process, is to let the customer know, like, hey, I won't be able to get out here for a long time. Or, hey, when I come out here, this place is going to look like a bomb went off. This is one of the things I used to tell our customers when we come out there and to do a pond installation. Just let you know that your backyard, especially if it's a big project, your backyard's going to look like a bomb went off. Not to scare you, but we're going to have dirt here, we're going to have stone and all this material and stuff. So it's going to be a little messy for a while, but give us a day or two and you'll start to see the process and how it unfolds. But I'm making them aware. I'm establishing that communication. And again, this goes back to having a sales process. This should be all part of your sales process. And I really encourage you, if you have some kind of, or you should sit down and create a sales process and write it down so that you're doing it consistently. But I also recommend having it on your website. That way the customer, when they go do the research, they're looking you up, they can see, oh, this is what's going to happen next. Here's what's going to happen after this. And you typically do these types of things, but we never really sit down and lay it all out for the customer or even for yourself. The other benefit too is when you start having a sales process is when you start bringing on people to help do the estimating and doing sales. You can basically hand this off to somebody and say, here's our system, here's how we do it. Here's the questions we ask the customer. Here's what we do after we sign the contract, blah, 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 whatever it is. But having that kind of laid out is going to make it that much easier for a salesperson or estimator or whatever you want to have for your business. We struggled in our business when we first hired a salesperson. because we just kind of let them do their thing. They had some experience, but we just kind of let them go out and go out and bid the jobs and hoped it worked out. And it wasn't. We had our own system, but they didn't know it, and we didn't establish that to them. We didn't communicate it with them, and it made it very hard for that salesperson to do the job to the needs that we needed. So again, having it laid out not only helps your customers, but it's going to help your team as well. What's up, Callgrass Master? Appreciate you being here. Let me know if you have any questions anywhere so far. Is this something that you are finding that if you are the one that's doing the bidding and you are actually getting back to the customer, are you getting the job? I'd love to see if that's the case, because I've been seeing more and more people in our academy having that same thing. They're reaching out and getting back to me. You're the first person who got back to me. So it's crazy to me that's what's happening. Or said hi on Facebook. Hello. Sorry, it just shows Facebook user. So let me know, if you are seeing that when you are getting back to the customer and you're getting that job typically. The other thing with having a sales process, it's going to allow you to ask better questions, asking those pre-qualifying questions just to make sure the customer's the right fit for you. You're going to be in the right, budgeting range. That's one of the biggest things we need to get out of customers, is to find out what their budget is. Even asking the questions to find out if you even do that type of service. You may find out they're wanting something completely different, and and driving all the way out there, talking to them to find out, I don't even do this type of service. So having the right questions that in the sales process along the way can make it that much easier for you and could eliminate you from driving out somewhere. Niners said landscapers not calling back is also another thing I hear a lot. Absolutely. The follow-up is that important as well. So what he's talking about is, after you talk to the customer, maybe meet the customer, or even talk to them the first time, getting back to them, or even after you send them the estimate, you need to get back to them and follow up with them. Unless they give you a hard no at that first time, you need to be calling them back. Sometimes I think we get scared when they don't give us a yes answer right away. Maybe they're the type of person that wants to get the 3 estimates. There's things we could do to find out, what they're looking for, if they are looking for the other estimates. But maybe they're the type of person. I'm that type of person. I will tell you, like, no, I'm not ready to buy right now, but I'll consider you. I'm not saying you're no right now, but I need to get to a couple other quotes. So that I'm that type of person. So if you're not following up with me, to me, as a customer, that's saying you're not interested. So that's what you need to be getting back to. So Niners 118, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You have to get back to the customer and follow up with them and see until they give you a hard no, keep following up. This is part of your sales process. After a day after you, or certain time after you submit the bid to them, if you email it to them, call them up. And let them know, hey, just want to let you know I sent your estimate over. Just want to make sure you received it. Let me know if you have any questions about it, and then go over what you have in the estimate and use the customer's words in, whatever they said, however they describe the project. Use their words when you're talking back to them. Better yet is if you could send a video email to them, let them know that, hey, I just sent this out to you. Here's what you can expect in it. Here's what we're going to go next. And just kind of go over the project. Video emails are getting much better open rate. And literally, this is something I started doing with our academy members. I have a whiteboard. It's you kind of see it's kind of blurred out, but I'll write their name. If people love seeing their name, just get on there, get on their phone. There's all kinds of platforms out there. Write their name. Hey, click play or something like that, whatever the name is, and then start talking about the project. That's the even better way. But this is having a sales process. The other thing with having a sales process and writing it down and following every single time, you can improve on it. So if you are not getting the sales, your sales ratios or close ratio is not real high, well, maybe we try changing one thing. Maybe I'm going from calling them up after I send the email to sending them a video email or whatever it is. Doing those types of things, you can change one thing at a time and track it and see if it's actually working, improving your sales skills. So having a sales process you follow all the way through is so important. What's up, JC17 Cal, appreciate you being here. Tallgrass Lawn Maintenance, Calibros Landscaping. What's up, Xavier? Appreciate you being here. Giving them a time when you will get back to them and do it. Yep. Showing them that you are reputable and reliable. Absolutely. Time is so important. And I was always kind of brought up if you're not 10 minutes early or late. And I follow that all the time. So I feel it's very important that you get back to them when you say you're going to get there, show up on time, and get back to them when you say you are. So if you tell them you're going to get back tomorrow, get back tomorrow. If you give them a time, give them, I personally like to give them a time range, especially if I'm going to call them. I'm going to call you between, you're good, man. Sent the wrong emoji. No big deal. But yeah, give them a time range. So if you say you're going to call them tomorrow at 10 o'clock, say I'm going to call you between 9 and 12. Just give them a time range, because I get it. You're busy, especially if you're out in the field doing work. You can't always get back to that customer right away. So give them a time range. And I call it like our Comcast. Comcast is our cable TV. They'll tell us they'll be at our house between like 8 and noon or something like that. They give us a wide range. And I think that's it's acceptable in our field. So I like to give customers a range. So absolutely give them a time frame and when you're going to get back to them. Going back to the sales process, again, I encourage you to sit down, write it out, write how the customer will, from when the time they call you, what happens, or they fill out a form on your website, what happens. You might have multiple different forms. So if they fill out a form on your website, what happens? Do you send them an email that you're going to get back to them a certain period of time? If they call on the phone, what do you do? Or do you start asking questions right then to qualify them? On your form, do you qualify them there? What is your sales process? Write it down step by step. Even if you're not doing it right now, start writing it down and then start keeping track of it. And then start following through all the time. It is so important and to close those sales. We work so hard. We spend all the money marketing and doing Facebook ads, or even just getting word of mouth. The effort to ask somebody for a lead or for the sale or whatever it is. We put so much time and energy to it. We need to have a process we can go through. And it's the only way you can track things and make changes and know what worked, what didn't work. Again, when you start making that sales process and you write it down and you decide you're going to change something, change one thing at a time. Don't change this, this, and this. Change one thing at a time, see what works. Change this, see what works. If you have in your sales process, like if they fill out a form, they complete the form, you send out an email to them, let I received your, I saw that you're interested in some landscape work. We'll get back to you within our policies to get back to you within 24 hours, whatever it is, lay that out, and then share some information with them. I really encourage you to, if you have blog posts on your website or even videos or on YouTube or something like that, share with them some information about whatever they're interested in. So if they're interested in lawn maintenance, have a blog post on your website or something on your website talks about lawn maintenance, what you do so great with it. Have some testimonials, whatever it is, and share that. Have that in the email. And that's part of the sales process. But there's so many different things we can do. Don't get crazy on it right away, but just start working 1 or 2 things at a time. Add this in, try this, see how it works for a few months. If it doesn't work, stop, change something else. What's up, Gallagher Financial Services, Little Frog Landscaping, Aguilar Landscaping. Appreciate you guys being here. Today, we're talking about having a sales process and really just getting back to the customer and contacting the customer. It's one of the best ways to ensure you're getting back to the customer right away and closing the sales. It's really going to improve your sales ratio if you have this kind of process. I encourage you to have some kind of good CRM software. And we'll talk about that some other time, but having some kind of good CRM process or software that you can use to follow that process to remind you, like, hey, you need to contact Mrs. Smith tomorrow. She filled out the form today. We closed or we signed we send an estimate out to this person today. I need to get back to them tomorrow. I'm going to follow up with them 3 days later. But having a CRM that's going to notify you and come up on your phone, your computer, whatever, tablet, whatever it is, that's saying, hey, you need to do this, this, this. That is a good CRM software. So having that is vital. Again, let me know, guys, are you Are you doing any type of sales process in your business? Are you getting back to the customers right away when you say you are? Or is it something you kind of push off and you're like, if they really want me, they'll call me back. Is that your kind of thought process? If it is, we need to change that. It's not a good thing. One thing I'll let you guys know before I continue on, if you're interested in this type of stuff, this is the kind of stuff we have in our $1 Million Academy. Also in January, we're starting to have our first 3-month accelerator program. During the 3-month accelerator program, we're going to go through your numbers. First month in January, we're going to hammer home what you need to charge based on your business. The second month is going to be about the sales process and marketing and those types of things. And then the third month, we're going to be diving into employees, how to get employees, some of the tricks and tips that that are out there. I'll say right now for anybody listening, there is no like magic bullet that you go here, do this, get the customer or get the employees. There's nothing like that. But we're going to share with you some things that you guys can do that's going around. But again, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you want some more one-on-one help, we can help you with that inside our $1 Million Academy. So Aguilar Landscape said, "You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here, learning from experienced business and professional people. I want to be successful one day." Well, Aguilar, you can definitely do this. Just keep talking to people, learning, and you can definitely be successful. This is a fairly simple industry to get into and to be successful in, and you can make good money in it. You have to have some of these systems and procedures and process. Everything is a process. Everything's a system that you do. If you look at it, everything that we do, but you can definitely get there. JC17 Cal says employee hiring is tough, probably the most challenging. Absolutely, it is. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably harder than fighting customers sometimes. Well, I know it is. And again, there's no magic cure that's going to say you go here, go to Indeed, do this and this. There is nothing. You have to be anywhere and everywhere. You have to be on top and having some kind of. I really recommend getting into some kind of program like a Team Engine. I'm not affiliate for them, but they have a great process to get back to those employees, potential employees, and a great process you put them through. So having something like that, even if you do it on your own or have your secretary or bookkeeper or whoever's handling this stuff for you, the telephone, having some kind of system you go through is very, very important with getting employees and having yourself set up to have a great culture, having like a procedure, onboarding procedure that your employees go through. Nobody wants to go to work for somebody where the place is a mess. They don't know what's going on. If your place is, honestly, if it's a shit show, nobody's going to want to work for you. So you have to have things in order. And an employee sees that the first couple of days, even the first hour, they can probably tell, they show up and look at your desk and your desk is a mess. They're going to be like, I'm not sure about this place. So those type of things matter. And it's all part of having those employees. It's not just like one thing with having employees. It's a multitude of different things. So again, there's no magic cure. There's nothing that you say go do this, and this with the employees. There's a lot of things a lot of things that go together to help keep those employees, get those employees, and track those employees. And you have to be doing them. What's up, Grasslands Centurf? Appreciate you being here. Rabbit Landscaping, Nick Molchan. Appreciate you. My son's on here, right? So again, guys, I'm talking basically about having a sales process and getting back to customers. Sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth. I got multiple different screens going on. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any comments. I love seeing the comments. Love seeing you guys being on here. But yes, tonight we're talking about having a sales process and how it can really help your landscaping business. We talked about how it's going to help you identify your ideal customer, understanding who your ideal customer is. It's going to allow you to make the better, I shouldn't say sales pitch. I don't like to use that term. To me, it seems a little sleazy, but a better way to describe what you do and how you can solve that problem, that person's problem or issue or whatever they have going on. Also, having a sales process is going to help you better understand the needs of the customer, finding out, asking the right questions. That's crucial. I hate driving to a customer's house to find out they, for one, can't afford me, or two, we don't do what they do, or it just is not going to work. So having the right questions that you ask from the get-go, the pre-qualifying questions, is crucial. And whether you do it on your form on your website, through answering the phone, those are all part of it. And then the other way is, another good thing about having a sales process is the communication with the customer. Communication is vital. Again, make sure you're telling the customer what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen after this phone call. Here's what's going to happen after I go out and meet you. Here's what's going to happen after you sign that contract. Keeping the customer in the loop, letting you know what's going on. And again, there's so many different things out there, guys, that can automate this. And it's really, I mean, even like, yes, like software like Service Autopilot and stuff like that, they're great. But there's other things you can do. If you're not that level yet, you can't afford Service Autopilot. There's a lot of things that you can do that ties into different software that can link up like a email sequence from MailChimp or something that will start that when the customer buys from you. So, or I'm sorry, is interested in you. So there's a lot of different things out there, that components that can go together, until you can afford that software that has the whole package deal. There's a lot of things they can do. You just have to reach out. Let's see. Little Frog Landscaping said, we only do hardscape installation. Would your program benefit a company like mine? Absolutely. We deal with all landscaping services. I personally, that's one of the main things we did in our landscape business, was hardscaping. I can't show you on Instagram. So I know you're on Instagram, Little Frog Landscaping. So I can't show you on here. But I do have like our spreadsheets that we have for estimating, have a lot of stuff in there for showing you. Basically, you just have to enter like a square foot. So you go out and measure the property up and say it's 500 square feet of whatever type of brick that you use. You put in 500 square feet of base, 500 square feet of this, that. It's going to tell you exactly how much time it's going to take, how much material it's going to take with configuring compaction, how much, whatever you want. And the nice thing with our spreadsheets, they can be tailored towards you. As far as the sales process and all those types of things, they work for any business. Yes, there's going to be some tweaks that you have to do for your business because you do things different than what I probably did things. I'm not saying one's better than another, but that's how it works for you. And so any of these systems, any of these procedures will work for any different business that you have. We do have different templates inside the academy. So if you're doing irrigation, we have a template for that for the estimating portion. We have templates for lawn maintenance, one for landscaping, hardscaping, lighting, all those types of things. So we have different setups inside there. So Little Frog Landscaping, if you're interested, let me know. Either DM me or I can DM you after this. But again, we have a couple different things. So we have our $1 Million Academy, which has all our courses and stuff on there. And you can also get more one-on-one coaching if you like. Or we also have our new 3-month accelerator. It's going to be starting in January. And 3-month accelerator is a 3-month program, as it's called. And we're going to take you through estimating in the whole month of January. So we're going to learn your numbers. We're going to learn what your equipment's costing, what your labor's costing you. And you're going to create a estimating system based on your business's numbers. There's one guy that's in our academy. He just shared a story on Facebook, how he drove 6 hours to do an estimate for a landscape lighting project. He drove out there, met with the customer for a little bit, was able to put all his information in there. And within, I don't remember exactly how much time he said, but a very short period of time, he was able to give this customer a $54,000 quote right then and there because it's all set up. The nice thing is when he's done with that, he can send that order right directly to his whoever his supplier is and give him a whole list of all the materials he needs. He can give another list to his employees. They know exactly what they need to load up, all that stuff. It's all set up in our spreadsheet. So it's, but it's based on your business's numbers. So the nice thing, it's super simple. It's all plug and play. You just have to put a little bit of information in for you. But yeah, so Little Frog, yeah, I'll definitely DM you. Rabbit Landscaping, I'll DM you as well. What's up, Liquid Amber Land? Appreciate you being Topside Landscaping. But yeah, I'll definitely DM you guys once I get out this live. South Pennington, appreciate you being here. So again, tonight I just wanted to talk about having a sales process. It is vital to your business to help you close, to make sure you're keeping those customers happy. Because once we sell to that customer, we want to keep that customer. You might think that you're kind of we do the installation and that's it. We move on, go to the next customer. But there's a lot of things that you can do to continue to sell to that customer. So we want to keep that customer happy even after the sale is done, after the job is complete. There's a lot of things you can do. Keeping up with the email, letting them know the different services you provide. Maybe they need mulch next year. Maybe they need, you can add a pond or a water feature. There's a lot of different things that you can do to help stay in contact with a customer even after everything's said and done. But this is part of the sales process. And I encourage you guys to spend some time, write down from the get-go from how the customer gets hold of you, whether it's going to your website, texting you, emailing you, whatever it is. What is your process? What do you do when they get to this step? What do they do when they get to this step? What do you do when you get to this step? And not just what you do, but what does the customer need to do? Is there anything from that? Write it all out, write it in like a flow chart. Helps you see it. It helps you look at it and be like, man, this is too damn complicated. No wonder I'm not getting many sales or I'm not having a hard time closing. So having a sales process is vital. So again, just to kind of recap here, having a sales process is going to help you understand your client better, understand what their needs are, what services or whatever they need for their business or for their job site, and be able to talk to them and appeal, give them kind of a sales pitch for whatever it is. It's going to allow you to ask better questions and get a better understanding of what the client needs by pre-qualifying and make sure they can even afford what you're looking to do. That's one of the biggest things, is trying to make sure they're in the right budget, right price range. So there's some things you can do for that. And then the last thing I kind of want to say is just make sure you're communicating. So having a sales process ensures that you're communicating with the customer in a timely manner. You're not like bombarding them with emails and text messages and all those types of things, but we're creating a system that we're following all the time. That way they know that you haven't forgot about them, that you're going to get back to them in a certain manner. Like we had in part of ours, to let you know, when a customer would call our office, we had, unless it was a Sunday or if they contacted us Saturday night, we had to have a salesperson get back to them by 24 hours. That was part of our policy. So within 24 hours of them contacting us, unless it was a Sunday, we had to get back to our holidays. We had to get back to that customer. So that's just our policy and that's our procedure. But that was part of it. So having a sales process is vital, and making sure you get back to your customer in a timely manner. So I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know if you have any questions about the sales process or something I didn't explain, or do you even feel that this is important? I'd love to see what you guys think. What's up, Sanders Lawn Service? Appreciate you guys being here. But yeah, having a sales process is vital. And this is some of the stuff that we teach inside the academy. If you're interested in, let me know. I can DM you. But you can head over to milliondollarlandscaper.com to find out more. We have our academy program. We have our new 3-month accelerator program, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be an awesome time. We're going to spend 3 months, 3 months going over all kinds of stuff to get you set up for 2023. So January, we're spending a whole month going through your numbers. We're going to go over creating your overhead budget, learning what your equipment's costing you, because honestly, equipment is a huge shocker when people see what it costs them inside our academy. We have the calculators. You basically put in, what you paid for the equipment. We kind of have to figure out how much fuel you're using. Just to give you an example, one academy member just went through our program, was shocked that he spent, I think it was like $7,000 or $7,500 in fuel alone just for his truck when driving around and checking in customers and his employees. He couldn't believe it, but he didn't know that. He didn't realize that until he did the calculator, because we have to be charging customers for that. So you're going to understand that. You're going to understand what your employees and costing you. We go above like the, your FICA, food, and SUDA. Those are typical. We should all kind of know that's part of our labor. But what about the downtime? What about unproductive time? What about paid time off, or PPE and safety goggles and uniforms, all those types of things, boot allowance, whatever you give the employee, insurance if you offer it. Those are all way into it. So we have to be charging a customer for it. And there's no way of doing that and understanding all if you don't have some kind of calculator and some kind of system to do it. And this is what we're going to be going through in January. We're going to hammer it down, and then we're going to give you all the plug and play estimating systems. So you basically put it in. Within minutes, you can create an estimate for somebody, a very elaborate estimate for somebody, and give them a price and know exactly what it's going to cost you. You're going to know exactly how much time it's going to take your team. You're going to know exactly. You're going to be able to give the job work order to your employees. So they know exactly what they need to load up to help eliminate you having to go out there and do it. And it's all plug and play, and it makes it very, very simple. So that's what we're doing in January and February. We're going to be talking about the sales process. It's so important. We're going to talk about ways to kind of get leads and customers, some sales marketing. We're going to create a marketing budget. It's all part of it, guys. So, and then let's see, in January, February, March, we're going to be going over employees. We're going to be talking about hiring, training, and retaining employees. So we're spending a whole month on that too, to help you get set up to get your team what you need for next spring. So love to have you guys part of that. So again, that's a 3-month accelerator. It's millionairelandscaper.com/accelerator. Love to have you guys part of that too. So lots of different ways for you guys to learn. I don't care if I'd love to have you part of the program, but reach out. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Just pick something, start learning it, and improve yourself. That's all I can say, guys. So I hope you guys are doing well. Let's up Defying Gravity. And make sure nobody has any other questions here before I cut out. I'm gonna go eat some dinner with the family here. But again, I appreciate you guys being here, being part of this. We're going to be jumping on, doing more lives and more trainings like this to help you guys out. We want you to be set up for 2023. We want you to be successful 2023. I think it's going to be could be a difficult year, I should say. And I don't know for sure, but I think it's going to be a little harder next year with some things with, talks of the recession. So you have to be dialed in with your numbers. You have to have these procedures and stuff in place. And don't get stressed out like you have to do all these types of procedures. You have to do all these types of things. You can do a couple things at a time. What's their biggest issues or biggest concerns? And we can talk about that in our programs. But it's going to be vital. It's going to be crucial for your success. We've been through a couple of the recessions in our business, and we kind of know what it takes. So again, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you Niners for being on here. And I'll DM all you guys that wanted. Let me know if you're interested in the program. If you are on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, let me know. I'll gladly get back to you guys. And, if we need to set up time to talk, I'm always willing to hop on a call, and talk about our program, let you see what's inside the program a little bit more. We also do have a free academy. So if you're interested in some of that stuff, that's just kind of some basic stuff. The one big thing people do like in our free academy is our 10-minute calculator. So you put in, it tells you what you need to charge per hour based on your system's numbers or on your business's numbers. So we do have that as well. So, all right, gang. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. We'll be on here next couple of days, but if I don't catch you before then, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.